video is presented by the EA Creator Network and was captured on a work-in-progress build. What's going on, everybody? My name is C4. Welcome back to the channel, and we are starting our Madden 25 rebuild season off with a very interesting team. The New England Patriots are one of the lowest rated rosters in this game. There are not a whole lot of high upside players on either side of the ball. And it's weird because as long as I've been a football fan, the Patriots have been up here, the Brady Belichick years. And now that, that's all kind of gone away, we have our first year post-Bill Belichick, and they've struggled to find a successor for Tom Brady. The Patriots were bad last year. They were not a very good football team, very boring football team, but they were bad enough that they were able to draft my favorite quarterback from last year's draft. That is Drake Maye out of North Carolina. And I'm very excited over the next 5 seasons to find not only if Drake Maye can be that true Tom Brady successor, but can we get the Patriots back on top of that mountain and win them another Super Bowl. But before we go any further, I want you guys to leave me some suggestions in the comment section below about what team you want to see me rebuild next. So as I mentioned earlier, this is an earlier build of the game, so the ratings are not accurate. They're still like the scrambled ratings. If you've ever played a Madden beta, you know what I'm talking about. So don't look at the overalls, but in your choose team screen when you're starting your franchise mode, you get new information than what you have got in previous years. And I do think it's a nice little addition. It gives you your rankings in 2024 for how things stand, shows your salary cap, the status of where your franchise is at. But I really like the information in the bottom right there, where it just fully breaks down all of your dev traits. We got 21 star, 1 superstar, 3 hidden devs, 49 normal, just to give you an idea that, unfortunately, in the Patriots case, the kind of sad state of their roster. No X factors, limited superstars, and you got to be cautiously optimistic that at least one of those 3 hidden devs is going to be better than a star dev trait. So fellas, this is going to be my very first playthrough of a Madden 25 franchise mode. Like when we got College Football 25, I did a couple practice dynasties before I recorded my first one, so I had an idea about how all the mechanics were going to work, how the offseason, transfer portal, recruiting, scouting. We're going to get a genuine first playthrough here with the New England Patriots in year 1. I know the draft presentation is something that franchise mode is putting a lot of emphasis on this year, so I figure let's enjoy it for the first time. Looking at the main hub here. As you can see, we have our top stories, kind of like a Twitter feed going on. Drake Maye's already getting some hype, which is nice. We can look at the standings, your weekly strategy, kind of shows us our game day there a little bit. Our goals, we get messages. This kind of reminds me of FIFA. Like if you play FIFA career mode, you constantly are getting like emails and text messages sent to you from players and staff. So that's pretty cool. Let's meet the roster, first and foremost. So looking at the offense, we're excited about Drake Maye. You look at the intangibles as prototypical size, 6'4", 223 pounds. We got the dev trait. That dev trait will be important. I want to be cautiously optimistic that it's a goalie boy, a superstar dev, but it could be a star. The stats are great. 94 throw power. He's accurate at pretty much every level. Athletically, can get the job done as a scrambler. And he's going to be our guy. Outright, let's make him a team captain. And hopefully he becomes that and more and elevates it. Because if you're going to become our Tom Brady successor, you're going to need to be the leader that can replicate that as well. It's not just about being Tom Brady on the field, talent-wise. It's about being Tom Brady franchise-wise, and that's leading this team to another Super Bowl. I think it's fair to say the rest of the offense right now here in New England is pretty mid. We got all right backfield, Ramondre Stevenson, Gibson. Sure, they complement one another. Wide receiver core, you got Kendrick Bourne, Juju Smith-Schuster, Osborne coming up from the Vikings. I think Demario Douglas, 75 with a star dev, has some upside. We have Baker and Jalen Polk. Those make up our 3 hidden devs, which you saw on the loading screen. So those guys, we'd like to assume, have some upside as well. But I'm not really seeing, who's the wide receiver 1? Who's going to be the wide receiver 1 on this roster right now come year 5? That's going to be lighting the league up with Drake Maye. I don't know if that guy exists on this roster, and we'll get to that in a second. Hunter Henry at tight end is solid, reliable. Jaheim Bell's a great utility weapon. Owenu, nice piece. If I'm looking at this team, who's going to be here in 5 years? I'm going to say Owenu's going to be here. I'm going to say Cole Strange is going to be here. Maybe a little Canadian bias will seep through, and City Sal will still be here. But for the most part, I think this team is going to look drastically different when we are peaking in year 4 and 5 of this rebuild. Defensively, kind of similar. Don't see a whole lot of long-term 5-year building blocks, but there's definitely some solid players. Christian Barmore might be vastly underrated, only pulling a 78 overall. Looking at the rest of the defense, I do think we'll give Keon White the start here, even though we're obviously giving up a lot in terms of base overall. The ceiling is a lot higher with Keon White. Linebacker course, not bad. Tavai's developed into a really nice player when he left the Lions to come to the Patriots. Taki, solid. Bentley, reliable. Judon, one of the most underrated pass rushers in the league. And him and Uche and a little bit of a rotation. I mean, that will be solid, to say the least. Duggar, Mapu, and Peppers at safety is solid. You got Jonathan Jones. You got Marcus Jones in the nickel. Plus, he gives us big-time return ability. But if you're not going to view Barmore as maybe the guy on this defense, I don't think we got to look a lot further than Christian Gonzalez. Stardev, 6'2", second-year player, had a very good rookie campaign, cut short due to an injury. We're going to give him the C right on his chest right now. That is how much I'm going to gamble and bank that by the time we are done this rebuild, and hopefully hoisting a Super Bowl again with that red and blue confetti fall from the stands, Christian Gonzalez will be regarded as one of the top corners in the NFL. Now, before we get to year one, the final piece of business is I talked about the wide receiver room. We don't really have the playmaker that's going to make life easy on our rookie quarterback. We also don't really have the upside. Maybe Demario Douglas. We got Baker with the hidden dev, Polk with the hidden dev. Maybe one of these guys, come year 4, year 5 of this rebuild, when we should be peaking, will become that go-to guy for Drake Maye. Maybe. I'm going to say probably not. If you're paying attention, IRL and football, there are rumors that the top 2 teams favored it to make a trade to land star wide receiver Brandon Aiyuk from the 49ers are the Patriots and the Browns. Maybe an outside chance for the Steelers. And by the time this video releases, we're probably going to know where Brandon Aiyuk ended up. Now, do I not do anything because nothing's finalized as of me recording this? Or do we embrace the rumors? And what if the New England Patriots land Brandon Aiyuk? Because that is a missing piece to this offense. So we went ahead and made a trade. Now ignore Brandon Ayuk's 86 overall rating. That's just part of the rating scramble. His actual rating's a 91, and he is looking to get paid like a 91 overall rated player. Because I can't see the future, I don't know exactly what the trade will look like if the Patriots end up trading for Aiyuk. I do know that pretty much all the truthful reports, it seems like, it's Kendrick Bourne and picks. So using some historical context of finding players similar to where I think Aiyuk is at and what they went for, prime Brandon Marshall went from the Broncos to the Miami Dolphins for 2 second-round picks. I think more appropriately, because there's only a year age separating the two, when the Houston Texans traded away DeAndre Hopkins, all they got in return from the Cardinals was David Johnson, comparable to Kendrick Bourne, and a second-round pick. Now, to make this trade happen, I had to throw in a 4th-round pick this year and a future 3rd to kind of overpay, but Brandon Aiyuk's a Patriot. So whether this happens in real life, and this is a quick preview of Brandon Aiyuk in a Patriots jersey, or if this is a sad hypothetical of what could have been if he goes elsewhere, Brandon Aiyuk at Madden launch is a 91 superstar wide receiver, a great athletic profile, 91 speed, 93 acceleration, 95 jumping, 93 agility. That'll do. His route running highlighted by 92 short, bumped up with our scheme, 89 medium. He can win a lot of ways. That 98 catching, he catches everything in sight. And when you have a young rookie quarterback like Drake Maye, you have to get him a wide receiver 1. Any quarterback that goes to a team that doesn't have that game changer, Bryce Young, Justin Fields, before they got DJ Moore, even kind of after he got DJ Moore. You gotta get that guy, and Aiyuk is gonna be our guy. Something that is new to Madden 25 franchise mode is you have O-line drills. We got Pocket Protector. Let's try that out. All right, so we're gonna go with Mike Owenu, highest rated lineman, just gives us the best shot here. You have 60 seconds, stop as many projectiles in your quarterback as possible. More points for each projectile stopped. Some multiplier hotspots. So what does this mean? I'm gonna be running around? Probably should have gone with a more mobile lineman than a 350-pound monster. Get this one out the way. Oh my god, we are going to do some damage with this one, fellas. Who wants it? Oh, this is like one that you wish like Jason Kelce was still in the game. This would be the best. Uh-oh. No! I'll get better at this one. I'm going to get a goal before this rebuild's over. Let's do a little wide receiver training with our new star wide receiver. Now, there was a method to the madness last year that was really effective in getting gold medals. Come on, let's finish it strong, baby. Let's go! And lastly, we got to get a little bit of rookie Drake Maye training camp action. We have the new quarterback drill pocket presence. Okay. I assume we're going to get shot at with basketballs. We got to hit these targets. Boom. Ooh, right there. That's a strong start. Boom. Oh, that's a strong start. We're rocking and rolling here. 30,000 points is gold. A little bit. Come on, let's hit the center here. Now, in a game like this, it's like, do you go quality or quantity? Like, should I try to get as many as possible to build the multiplier up? Or do you want to, like, do your pocket, make sure you're dodging, and place your throws as best you can. Ooh. We're probably not, we're not really, I wouldn't say we're doing the best of both worlds here. But we got a good start. Love to get at least silver. Oh, what? 100 off? Brutal. Now that we're out of training camp, let's take a look around the franchise mode and just see what's going on here. We have our coaching staffs and our coaching trees. From a quick glance, it does look like if you kind of found how you like to build your coaching trees in Madden 24, you're going to have probably a similar way of wanting to build your staffs up here in Madden 25. Upgrade some players here. Barmore getting his gold medal in training camp. And you know what? I really want him to continue to refine his game as a power rusher, to get after the quarterback. He is our guy on that D-line, and he is going to end preseason and enter this season as an 80 overall. Brandon Aiyuk coming right into camp, already starting to thrive, already feeling at home, having an outstanding camp, and getting that much better. Got a couple scenarios here in the preseason. Let's see what we got here first. Meeting. All right, man. Mayo's looking good. Ready for the press conference. I assume they're going to ask me about position battles. All right, so we're getting kind of a rundown by the old head OC. And let's see what they want to know. What do they want to hear from me? I do think this is a cool presentation. I've talked about it before, that there was definitely, even though superstar mode in years past hasn't been for me, I'm definitely not the target audience. There's definitely like features that was in superstar mode that definitely would translate well and be welcomed additions into franchise mode. So we're talking about a DN battle. I mean, let's just keep it simple. Most sacks. Whoever finishes the preseason, I mean, that is a big battle there on that side. Now, we kind of already, and it's no different than real life. You might say to the media, to people's faces, that it's a battle. The last little week-to-week, day-to-day is the weekly strategy. We have the Philadelphia Eagles here in the preseason. You set your offensive and defensive game plans. You have your team profile, where right now we currently have 3 focus players. We're going with our 3 hidden dev rookies, but it will be a priority for me and almost will be universally every time we do a rebuild. First thing I like to work on with this coaching tree is go all the way down so we can unlock all 6 of our extra focus player slots. But you start with 3 and you got to work your way up. Oh, here we go. Coach, we talk all the time about a team's identity. Mayo, face of this defense for years. I'm going to tell you what. I'm a little worried, but I'm going to say that we're going to stop the run. But as any team in the NFL, you're not going to get 100 yards against us. At the end of the year, what would a successful season look like? Yep. To set a little goal here, 75 yards. Ooh, 50's hard. We'll go 75. We'll keep it somewhat realistic with the state of the defense. Ask me this question come year 3 or 4 of this rebuild, I'll say we'll average 40. And we get to follow up with the position battle. Based on what you said, Keon White won the battle. Do you agree he won it? Yes, sir. We are always right. And the team will appreciate it. I'd love to see a nice little boost here. Keon White has earned a +3 boost to block shed finesse power move for the next 3 games. I would like that maybe to be an XP reward or something more long-term, but not bad. Should start out hot at the beginning of the year. I will say, we have a lot of players to cut, and this was easily the toughest decision I had to make. A lot of tough decisions. But Jalen Reagor, this was brutal. I'm going to lose sleep over this. All right, we got another meeting. We're gassing up Drake Maye. What would a successful season look like for Drake Maye? Oh, jeez. I think probably 4,000 yards, a little more attainable. We got Brandon Aiyuk, but I think the rest of the offense might not be in line with that 4,000 yard goal. But maybe we get 3,500 right to Aiyuk. That'd be cool. Ooh. Will you play your rookie quarterback this season or let him sit? He is getting thrown to the wolves. And obviously, for the sake of this rebuild, we're not going to do this every single year. Let's focus on Drake Maye. We have big-time players. But I am 1,000% sure that Drake Maye, and anytime we have anything that can interact with Drake Maye, we're going to do it, because if we can get any and all upgrades from these scenarios, we want to try this. So good luck developing him based on his performance on the field. Do I get any sort of scenario that I do not, outside of the fact that we absolutely committed to the goal, 4,000 yards. And we also need to commit to our season goal, which I think for the state of our franchise will go with a humble, modest 7 wins. Now that we're into week 1, before we can focus on the field, we got to do our last piece of business off the field, which is setting our scouting staff, which, again, looks pretty much in line with where it was last year. I mean, maybe there's a slight variance to the expertises. Maybe you got different roles than what we were seeing last year for the 2 positions. While I'm building my staff, to quickly circle back to a question I kind of asked myself about whether or not they refresh the 2 positions you can get for your expertise of your scouts. They definitely did. There's a lot more combos than what we saw in Madden 24, which is awesome. The last piece of business before we hop on the field and see what this Drake Maye, Brandon Aiyuk Patriots offense can do is let's take a look at the revamped scouting process here in franchise mode. I wouldn't say necessarily process, maybe presentation is the right word. As you would have seen from the deep dive in franchise mode, this was definitely one of the big, that's awesome. This is definitely raised efficiency. You want to sort by physicals. You want to go with the old approach. I only want guys that have elite acceleration, minimum. Sure, sort by that. Oh, I want to just go off 40-yard dash time. I don't want anyone that went less 35 bench press. You're going to be able to sort that. There's our dudes. There's our dudes right there. I'm surprised they haven't updated FedEx style, the old Eminem hairdo for Joe Burrow. Is that coming back in? Like, is my son, when he goes back to school, kid's going to have the buzz cut, bleach blonde hair like Joe Burrow? Or are you going to have a man haircut like Shaggy Dude Drake Maye over there? All right. A lot of room for improvement. Well, let's be honest. We did not pick the Patriots because I was super excited to play with that defense. We picked the Patriots because I believe in QB1. Number 10, Drake Maye. We now have a stud wide receiver. Here we go. Bring him down. Let's go, Keon White. Won the positional battle. His confidence is through the roof. All right, Aiyuk. Let's see. Option route. Are you on the same page with your rookie quarterback? Let's go, man. We went in at the break and we said, we can't play any worse. And it's still a 2-score game. Let's put a drive together, get some points, and we'll complete the comeback. All right, 4th and 1. Maybe the go balls are what we need. Maybe some slants is what can get Aiyuk into a rhythm here. He's just getting locked down. Jalen Ramsey or something signed for the Bengals? What do they got over there? Cam Taylor-Britt? We'll do it ourselves. We'll do it ourselves! Drake Maye, first NFL touchdown. Wouldn't expect anything else for a celebration. Can't believe it. He'll do it himself. Too easy. Plenty of time for us to go win it. To Mario Douglas. Second and goal. Could run it. Probably should run it. Want to get at least a completion to Brandon Aiyuk. Psych. Just fall. Fall. That way. Hat trick. Yep. That just happened. Year one, things have been a battle, but I want to talk about Ramondre Stevenson, our starting running back. It's a great opportunity in a 2-3 start to kind of being the shining light with a breakout scenario. He is looking to make a jump up from a star to a superstar dev. And to get a superstar dev, he's at that age that he's probably going to be our running back for this whole rebuild. When we are regarded as the top team in the NFL, I expect Ramondre Stevenson to be a feature player. And let's see, how confident? I am very hard. Why would I want to set these goals? I'm going to go hard goal. I wonder, like, with those different options for a breakout scenario, is that dev trait plus XP? Get Ramondre. So if I would have went easy, would I have opportunity to increase his dev trait? Why would you pick the harder option? See, this is stuff we're going to learn as we go along. All right, well, we got a great example of what happens when you fail to get your dev trait. Damn. So as I was just upgrading some of my players, as you do on a week-to-week basis, Javon Baker is superstar dev rookie. Cool. I do think it is important to say this is an early build of the game. It looked like Brandon Aiyuk's face changed for some reason when I made the trade. The ratings are scrambled. Maybe Javon Baker doesn't have a superstar dev, but I'm going on the intentions that he does, and that is a huge win for the Patriots offense. We have $137 million of salary cap. Matt Judon at 32. Like $80 million for Devy. As you can see, still don't have edge off-ball linebacker. So I'll bump that up 3.5. 3 years, $19.5 million. Nice. So we got the running back figured out. We might as well not beat around the bush. Brandon Aiyuk, we're going to start with a player-friendly deal. 5-year, $130, and we get him signed. You would make that trade with the 49ers if you weren't very confident that you would get a contract extension in place. I mean, Peppers is interested. 3 years is not brutal. I'm not expecting a lot of regression. I mean, maybe there's, Tavai goes. Uche can then start on the opposing side of Matt Judon. So let's give him a 4-year, $25 million. Gamble that he has his best football ahead of him. And let's see if we can get Matt Judon to retire a Patriot. And looks good. We're on a win streak right now in the battle of the 2024 quarterbacks. Matchup 1 goes to Drake Maye. See how you can utilize the new scouting board. Call me old-fashioned. I want my left tackle to be pass block. And look, you can now sort. And we have an A pass block unlocked on Donnell Kendricks out of Florida. So that would now get himself a little heart from us. So we messed around and ended up making the playoffs. Even though we lost 2 in a row, the work had been done. Oh, look, we're getting roasted about our 75 rush yards a game. Come on, we made the playoffs. I'm getting roasted again about the passing yards. I get it. I made those commitments, but we made the playoffs. We said 7 wins. How about that one where I predicted 7 wins and we got 10? Now, a big thing that we are going to highlight just here in year 1. We'll look at our stats, but I also really want to see what the stats around the league look like. So Drake Maye in his rookie campaign, 3,400 yards, 26 touchdowns, 11 picks, 67% completion percentage. Happy with those numbers. You go over 1,010 for Ramondre Stevenson, 5 rushing touchdowns, and almost 400 yards for Drake Maye. So we get some good dual threat ability. Brandon Aiyuk, would have been cool to see him go over 1,000 yards. Work in progress, 7-3 from Demario Douglas. The superstar, Javon Baker. Hopefully he can continue to hold on to that dev trade as long as he possibly can. Defensively, Jawan Bentley over 100 tackles. We got 9.5 sacks on 15 TFLs for the ageless wonder, Matt Judon. Very happy we got him on a 2-year extension. Barmore with 12 TFLs, 5.5 sacks. But certainly an area we want to see the production take a jump up. Tavai, who wants that $80 million contract. Best of luck getting that somewhere else. Did have 4 picks. 4 for Jones, 4 for Jabril Peppers, 2 for our stud Gonzalez. So let's quickly look around the league to see what we're dealing with here. You got Mahomes, you got Dak up there. The rushing numbers, Josh Jacobs went off 1,800 yards. 17 for CMC, but Saquon went off 50. He had 22 rushing touchdowns. Lamar's up there, 800 yards, 7 touchdowns. Jalen Hurts, 6 and 7. Caleb Williams up there. Maybe a little higher for some of the other ones, but I mean, you can't really complain. It's nitpicking at this point. Receiving. Defensively, under some tab. What do we got for sacks? 19.5. Jeff Simmons went off. Vaughn with 16. Oh, I love seeing that. Mahomes ends up winning the MVP for our team, the Patriots. Runner-up for Coach of the Year in Gerard Mayo. We have Offensive Rookie of the Year going to Drake Maye, which you love to see. Javon Baker, our superstar wide receiver, in the top 5. And we got Matt Judon, top 3 at linebacker, as well as Jonathan Jones, top 3 at DB. Well, it doesn't get any easier. We open up our first playoff run with the Grim Reaper of Madden 23, the Kansas City Chiefs. Honestly, they're the Grim Reaper of the NFL. And that went about as expected. Congratulations to the Ravens for winning their Super Bowl, and the Panthers giving us hope that we can turn this around very quickly. All right, we got an off-season storyline here, and I'm going to say right now, we got to win the draft. You don't have a second-round pick because of the Aiyuk trade, but that first-round pick is going to have to be a home run. And I'm very interested to see what the draft an 80+ overall in the first 3 rounds. But that's 80+. There's usually like 2 of those if you're lucky in a draft. There might not even be an 80+. As we had our first season of the dev trades, Baker regresses down to a star, and probably that's fair. Didn't do enough. It was cool that he was a superstar, but didn't really do enough to keep that dev trait from his rookie campaign. Drake Maye, however, has gone up superstar dev, and it almost makes you feel like maybe they swapped that wrong. Like, I think it makes sense for Drake Maye to be the superstar and Javon Baker to be a star. But we've righted the ship, and our franchise quarterback looks even more franchisey. On the defensive side of the ball, old man Matt Judon might have regressed base overall rating, but he is now an X factor. Oh, what's up, Brandon Aiyuk? What's your motivation? Oh, this is a heart-to-heart. No. I'll buy you a space heater. Would you change that about me? What? I want you to care more about winning than being cold. I pay you $150 million. Buy a set of hat and mitts. Ooh, and just to take a little look, now that we got the combine results in, just out of curiosity, you ran the fastest 40. Okay, 4.24. Now, I'll say for free agency, we're probably not going to be overly active in free agency because of the rating scramble and the randomized ratings that I'm using on this build. Take a look at some favorites here. For our very first Madden 25 draft class, I am going to focus scout 2 tackles, Kendricks and Bynes, because if I am going to be a little aggressive and potentially trade up in the first round, it is going to be trying to find a franchise left tackle. We got Daniel McNeil, one of those super cheesy looking wide receivers. That A deep route running 4.2 speed, elite 3-cone and shuttle. Let me see what I'm getting. And off of just our scouts bringing us information, got a couple value picks. Leak, a second, third rounder, is a first round edge rush talent with that A power move, so I'm very interested. Howard looks like legit baller. First round talent, 3 Bs and an A. All right, we got the new draft presentation. Gonna sit and wait all the way. I'm gonna stay put. I feel like we've already lost some draft assets in the Brandon Aiyuk trade. So let's just stay here at pick 22. Both tackles are still on the board. Let's make the right call. Kendricks, the ratings look very good. Technically sound. Athletically, you want to see probably a little bit better. I do think Kendricks is going to have a nice rating. So let's go and welcome. Let's see what this looks like. Ooh, hopefully a new franchise tackle to protect Drake Maye and to help complete the offense. He looks good. Looks excited. Show me hidden dev. Oh, what? B minus. 79 in true value. We got him at 22. We did get the hidden dev trait. I can live with that. With our third pick at 22, I think we absolutely have to grab Ezekiel Howard. B catching, B man, A press, B zone, 6'1", elite speed. Welcome. B minus again. Mayo knows this is a home run pick. This is pretty cool. Good addition. B minus. Yeah, right. All right, hold your breath. Draft recap. First Madden 25 draft in the books. I don't think we embarrassed ourselves. I think we did. Yeah, we did well. Kendrick 73 with a hidden dev trade. Howard 76 with a dev trade. Sand 74 normal, but 74 in the 5th round. You can live with that. We get an absolute freak of nature 72 in the 5th. And a 73 kicker in the 7th. Chef's kiss. Our goal was to draft someone that was 80 plus. There wasn't even one in this draft. Camp, the quarterback, 79. 79 for Buckley. Pretty decent ratings here. Nothing generational in our first draft, but some good players for sure. All right, we get another opportunity to set our goal. This is an important one, and I want to focus definitely on our offense here in year 2. Let's set our goal. Our starting DNs ended with 20 sacks as a team. I think we could probably get that. Team 30 sacks. I know the rating scramble and all that makes trades kind of, but I got to get Juju off the roster. We can get Overshown, that converted safety linebacker from the Cowboys. We'll do it. He's good enough to start for us. Day 1. Let's see it. Let's get a breakout. And Kendricks keeps going up. Like, he is developing very quickly. Quicker than I would have anticipated. Especially for a tackle that looked good, not incredible. Especially, a little bit on the light side for bench press. But our first round pick is a superstar dev franchise tackle. So as we get to the end of year 2, maybe a little more realistic, where I think the Patriots are at as a squad as we go 8-9. So statistically for Drake Maye, top 5 in the league in passing touchdowns. Happy with that. 31 touchdowns, 8 picks. I don't think I have any worries about a dev trade going up or down. Running the ball, 1,100 yards, 7 touchdowns for Ramondre Stevenson. Good, acceptable. Brandon Aiyuk, that's a good year. I'm not going to nitpick that. 62 catches, maybe a little low. Under 1,000 yards, annoying. But 2 yards under 1,000 with 14 touchdowns. I'm not mad at that at all. Demario Douglas was nice. Javon Baker was also a nice role player. Defensively, Jawan Bentley, in what could be his final year here in New England. 102 tackles, 7 TFLs, 4 sacks. We got 7 sacks from Judon. We won at 30 as a team. Yeah, I don't think we hit that. Maybe we should have made like a TFL goal or something like that. Interception numbers. I love seeing Christian Gonzalez with 4 picks. Might be right on the fringe, too, to get him off that star dev and up to a superstar, where I think he rightfully belongs. And Ryan Clark is roasting us again. 2 straight years of this. Now I'm at a point where I'm curious. Like, if you hit this goal, is it like a massive XP boost? Is it a morale boost? Super Bowl here in year 2 is it's one you love to see, but congrats to the Chiefs again. And as far as dev trait growth, offensively, I'm happy maintaining. Drake Maye, Brandon Aiyuk, and a franchise tackle, all superstars. On the defensive side, we maintained across the board, but good old Christian Gonzalez with his 4 picks is up to a superstar dev. So with that, we gladly pick up his 5th-year option. So to map out the offseason where we want to get better, we need a center. We need to get a replacement for David Andrews. But I think the rest of the offense, unless like a really good tight end opportunity pops up, we should be all right. Nose tackle could look at definitely increasing the competition inside at linebacker as well. And while there wasn't a center or nose tackle, we got ourselves a tight end option. So we have Mark Andrews, 96 X factor. And I think the fact that it's only a 5-year, it's not a 10-year. We know we're operating this rebuild salary cap wise on Drake Maye on a rookie contract. So I think that allows us to be a little aggressive and offer pretty much absurd money to Mark Andrews. His interest wasn't particularly high in joining our team off the bat. And we've at least made it somewhat competitive between us. Let's go, Mark Andrews. Welcome to the Patriots. So looking at our favorites here, we got tight end in free agency. Center and nose tackle is where I would love to get, some guys that can contribute right away. And we got a nice looking center here, Jake Saunders in the 3rd, 4th round. No nose tackles. One thing I have noticed, I'm 2 drafts in, they don't have those big 360-pound nose tackles. Generate as much, at least in this rebuild. Maybe I got a bad roll there. But Lindley does look nice for a 3 Bs across the board. 1st round talent, elite speed, jumping, acceleration. St. Louis at linebacker, maybe could be that guy. A pursuit, A tackle, B zone, B block shed, 6'3", has elite speed, elite acceleration. The best course of action here is to grab Lindley, the D tackle, who looks very good. Love the athletic profile. Have him scouted. Ooh, that looked like an A. Welcome to the Patriots. You ready to buy into the new Patriot way? You ready to help this team not be below 500 this year? 21 in true value. We got him at 13. We got the dev trait that, look at that, man. 84 acceleration, 79 speed, 92 strength. With that strength, you might be able to play in the middle. All right, in the 2nd round, tiebreaker. We'll go with the guy that we have scouted, and I want to be aggressive and trade back up and try to grab that center too. St. Louis looks good. We don't need to look at this every single time. B minus 29 in true value, getting him at 45 dev trait as well. And we're able to find a trade partner to trade up into the 3rd round and go grab that center. It's the Rams. We had to throw in a 4th round this year and Hunter Henry, who with the signing of Mark Andrews has become a little bit of a surplus. Let's go Saunders. A, run block. B, we got 41 in true value, getting it. Killing it. Absolutely killing it. And looking at our draft recap, feels, the end was just kind of some flyer picks. But for where we want to make our selection, 73 hidden dev at center. He's going to be a day 1 starter. Lewis, we're going to kick him inside, 74 hidden dev. There's our Jawan Bentley successor. Lindley, powerhouse, unique body type, day 1 starter at D tackle. Training camp, I have not got any better at the quarterback or O-line drill, but I will get a gold, and if I do, I will show you guys. But the team is getting better, and I feel like, if the on-field trainer's not working, at least the draft is working. As we landed a new starting center, which looks awesome. We got Mark Andrews in free agency, the best tight end the Patriots have had since the old Gronkster. Defensively, 2 new starters as well with St. Louis and Lindley. And I would like to hope out of the 3, we get something that might be better than a star dev. Just give me at least 1. I won't be greedy. All right, we're also going to hit on one of these preseason interviews here. I want to see what you get. So we're going to say our passing attack. We're going to hype up Drake Maye, Brandon Aiyuk to crush it again. We saw he got 30 touchdowns last year. Top 5. So let's see if that's something like a goal. I think 35 was the option last time, which is a little high, but you know what? Let's go. Sky's the limit for Drake Maye. Got him. Boom. Shiny new toy, Mark Andrews. First game of the year. Welcome to the Pats. Andrews again. Let's go, man. He is eating. Red zone monster. It ends up being a debut to kick off year number 3, 33-14 over another member of that same class, J.J. McCarthy, and the Vikings. 3 touchdowns, 281 yards for Drake Maye. Great start to try to hit that 35 on the season. Now, with us being on a winning streak, I'm in a great mood to look at some contract extensions. With over $100 million of salary cap, we are sitting in a really, really good spot. We got Demario Douglas. I think he's a great role player that has yet to hit his ceiling, so I'd love to continue to develop homegrown players when we can. Michael Wenu. I don't think there's going to be a lot better tackles that we could get on the open market, and let's get him locked in for the remainder of the rebuild. Now, we've been talking about maybe a Jabril Peppers replacement. Maybe we have that on the roster in Mapu. Versatile player, can also potentially play linebacker. I mean, I feel pretty good about our linebacking room, but the versatility is worth a contract extension. So we finished the year 15-2, 1 seed. 35 touchdowns, please, come on. Yeah, I remember. Stop roasting us! 35 touchdown goal, we get 34. That is... Well, Drake Maye is killing it. 3,600 yards, 34 touchdowns, only 2 interceptions. We do have quarterback guru for our offensive coordinator. He's probably going to get poached this year. But he's a 91 overall, playing like a 97. And that is going to give us a chance to go on a legitimate playoff run. Looking elsewhere, Andre Stevenson's been a solid hand. 1,100 yards, 10 touchdowns. It's kind of been his floor and ceiling. No 1,000-yard receivers. Aiyuk had that's not a brutal year. 800 yards, 9 touchdowns. 7-7 for Mark Andrews. You would just expect maybe a little more. The rookie Antonio St. Louis led the team. 93 tackles, 6 TFLs, 2 interceptions. 8 sacks from Judon, 7 from Barmore, 5 from Keon White. 13 and 4 for the rookie D tackle Lindley. I love seeing that. Mapu with 3 picks. Got himself a shiny new contract as well as we continue to find ways to get him on the field. Don't love the fact Gonzalez took a little bit step back in regression, but interception numbers can be like that in Madden and in real life. Gerard Mayo runs away with the Coach of the Year award. A slight bummer to cap off award season is Saunders, and defensively St. Louis and Lindley, all our star devs. We start our playoff journey here as the 1 seed against the team that got the Hail Mary we'll never talk about again in the first game of this rebuild. You look at it, they are a slightly better squad across the board. They are offensively, a little, maybe slightly better, maybe, though, right? I would say we have the advantage on both sides of the ball overall. All right, playoff success for Drake Maye and the Patriots. The wait continues. Give up 13 points in the 4th, lose by 10. It wasn't Drake Maye's fault. He had a good game. Joe Burrow went off. We got nothing out of our running backs. Cam Akers, you can't let Cam Akers take this game. You can't let Jamar Chase go for 200 yards, especially when the defense has been our bread and butter all year long. The news goes from bad to worse as Brandon Aiyuk loses his superstar dev. And we lose the dev trade on Duggar and a double dev trade loss. I mean, the age was always going to catch up to him. But I did not see that harshly happening. He was still our best pass rusher. It ends up being 2 straight Super Bowls for the Kansas City Chiefs as they continue their dominance over the NFC East. So we're going to think outside the box here. I'm actually not going to pick up the 5th-year option on Drake Maye because year 5 salary cap hit of almost $60 million is going to be painful. And if we can hammer out a long-term contract extension with them next season, I bet you that salary cap hit is going to be maybe not significantly lower, but I would say decently lower. But when you look at the front, we got to replace Keon White. Dom Green is a little bit bigger than Lindley, and Lindley was undersized, so I feel like maybe we can move Lindley to defensive end. Him and Barmore kind of fit that mold, and then we can have Dom Green here potentially be our nose tackle. B tackle, B power move, C finesse, C block shed, but has elite strength. 43 reps, the best in the draft class, which I always tell you, if you don't know 100%, I mean, actually, maybe not my best pick technically, 31 in true value, but if you don't know 100%, go off of things that make them stand out. And the guy with #1 in bench press, like obviously he's going to have the best strength, a standout strength with that 95, and we roll him with a dev trait. So now we're in the 2nd round. We still have Buckner. He's falling, which is a little suspicious, and he's arguably not even my favorite safety. And I'd like to think one of these linebackers would still be there, even though it's going to be late in the 3rd round. Let's kind of gamble that a little bit, but look at Justin Landry, still on the board, 2nd, 3rd round, much like the bench press on the D tackle. Things that just stick out usually are good in Madden drafts, and A-man coverage on a safety sticks out like a sore thumb. He also has a great profile, 6'2", 206, physically, elite agility, fastest 40-yard dash, the 3-cone, 20-yard shuttle, 2nd in the vertical jump. Like, this guy's a beast. I'd be shocked if he doesn't have a dev trade at least. Come on. B minus. Number 9 in true value. Getting him at pick 60. Let's go, man. That kind of close out the draft wasn't my best. But when you're blind picking, I'll take a 76 blind pick and then a couple like solid depth guys over nothing. 76 on Landry with a hidden dev. Green 74 with a hidden dev. That is 3 drafts in. And I would make the argument 3 outstanding drafts in return. Now to start year 4, this is where we're going to get a little creative on the defensive side of the ball. So we are going to pivot Lindley from D-tackle now to defensive end with Green with a path to start. Landry is too good just to sit on the bench. So what I'm going to do is make him our starting slot corner so we can at least get on the field as a rookie. Kyle Duggar has regressed, so Mapu is going to take over at strong safety, but it's not a lot of value with Duggar sitting on the bench. We don't have a lot of depth at linebacker behind St. Louis, so we're going to kick Duggar from safety to that linebacker spot, which is a position like the hybrid linebacker that he definitely has in his wheelhouse. He was a bigger safety, so hopefully, you know, the lack of athleticism that he's regressing from won't stand out as much at linebacker, where he's pretty athletic. Like, you know, not as athletic as a safety, pretty athletic as a linebacker. Now, we made the very gutsy decision not to pick up the 5th-year option for Drake Maye. And look at that right there. I quickly looked at it because I just wanted to rip that band-aid off. But it was $49 million cap hit versus a $57 million cap hit next season, which, if this does turn into like a little bit of a Super Bowl or bust scenario for year 5, that little bit extra money on the open market and free agency to put this team over the hump could matter. We got Chris Gonzalez looking for a 4-year deal. Easy. And I don't think we're going to have any other gigantic contracts. Javon Baker's been a good role player. I don't know if he's necessarily played himself into that kind of contract, but if we let him walk, he's arguably probably going to be the top wide receiver on the open market. Now it's all about, like, is Stevenson at that ceiling? Like, if we re-sign him next year, is he going to come in lower than an 82 overall? My gut says maybe. Jabril Peppers, we have his successor already in place. So I think we'll take that 40 mil and have it to hit the open market. We'll have what could be a very, very important free agency class for us. We finish year 4 with an impressive 11-6 record, 3rd seed in the AFC. We get some good news, as Dom Green, our 1st round pick, is a superstar defensive tackle. Drake Maye's playing good. He's not playing like an MVP. We have our first 1,000-yard receiver. I will take that. 1,000 yards, 7 touchdowns from Mary Douglas, 900 yards, and 12 touchdowns from Aiyuk. I mean, Aiyuk has yet to go over 1,000, which is a tough sell for the contract we gave him, but he's been playing well. And maybe we need to switch it up here a little bit. Maybe just the straight Sims, not the best. Let's hop in, grab a front row seat here in year 4 against the Pittsburgh Steelers in the wild card round, and see maybe the super sim is what we need to take us on a playoff run. Not holding to a field goal. We do get the instant score, though. 24-21. 2 minutes to go. Pittsburgh gets the go-ahead touchdown. Drake Maye marches the team down the field. It is 4th down. See if we can make some magic. Brandon Aiyuk in the slot. Hey, year 4. Anybody but the Chiefs at this point. Shout out to the Jags and Dougie P getting his 2nd Super Bowl. Got to spend it. So we're going to look at Jalen Wright, even though it's not a huge upgrade at running back. It is an upgrade, and we'll bring Judon back for the time being. But we're going to be probably very aggressive in the draft, seeing if we can get an even better pass rusher just to contribute for one season to hopefully put this defense over the hump. So looking at the most recent mock draft, of course, we need a pass rusher. First 3 players are pass rusher. Teague as a top 5 player, 3 here to the Rams. Might be our best shot if we wanted. Hey, you know what? It's our first rebuild. Let's see how hard it is to trade up. And we're able to get it done. They wanted Demario Douglas, which is annoying. 86 star dev, homegrown talent. Didn't really want. In a perfect world, we would have been able to, you know, just throw the picks. But they wanted Demario Douglas and Christian Gonzalez. And I said, okay, how about Demario Douglas, our first round pick this year, and our first round pick next year for pick 3. We're not trading up for pick 1. We're not trading up for a franchise generational quarterback. We're trading up for like a pretty good looking pass rusher. And we're able to get them to bite. And let's go. It is Teague time. JT Teague out of Auburn. He looked pretty good. Number 4 in true value. We get him at pick number 3. Do we have a dev trait? Here we go. I don't think that. Who's that guy? How come some old man wandered up to the stage? Hey, look at the draft recap. We got a 73 normal dev corner. A little bit later on the draft, 68 corner there as well. Just kind of building some depth. Booth is 70 with a hidden dev. And JT Teague, the man that needs to become the difference maker, the X Factor. Please be an X Factor. That'd be pretty cool. 78 overall. So not generational. Knew he wasn't generational a whole lot. Maybe that's why we didn't have to vastly overpay to trade up with the Rams. But this is a very good looking player. And one that's an upgrade over Judon. Maybe Judon can take him on the wing, mentor him a little bit, get a little bit of an XP boost. But I'm excited to see what he can do on our defense. I promised gold medal in one of these drills before this rebuild was done. And now we got our franchise superstar left tackle. We've been working. We've been in the lab. Come on. No! This is it. Year 5, final year of the rebuild. More than enough talent as an 88 overall team to go on and win the Super Bowl. I mean, regular season performance has been great. Just our playoff performance has been doo-doo. Drake Maye leads a very good offense. He is with a boost up to a 97 overall. It's been every bit of a franchise quarterback that he needed to be when we decided, hey, Drake Maye and the Patriots is a pretty good first rebuild of Madden 25 season. So he is not disappointed. Maybe the sim numbers haven't been the best, but, you know, making the aggressive move to get Brandon Aiyuk, which I am now actually day 2 of recording this rebuild, and there's been no news on Aiyuk. If he ends up in New England, you might want to have him playing a little bit better than what he's played for us, but still a nice playmaker. Got a lot of touchdowns. He's been pretty much averaging double-digit touchdowns a year, so I'm not going to complain. We got Andrews. The O-line is very good across the board. Defensively, we're finding playmakers. Green, Gonzalez. We brought in Byron Murphy to give us arguably one of the best secondaries in the NFL. No weaknesses whatsoever. Uche's finally getting a chance to break out. St. Louis leading the defense, and we got the number 3 overall pick. 78 overall Teague starting at pass rush. We need him to be a double-digit guy. And our goal for this season is simple: Super Bowl or bust. And we have one final chance to try to hit this scenario. I will say, you know, when they talk about all these new storyline scenarios and stuff that are coming into franchise mode, the fact that it's kind of been like this, I mean, there's obviously different paths that you could take based off of your answers that I think is going to give you a different goal. And I'm not saying I was expecting anything crazier, but there is definitely a sense of early repetitiveness. The fact that I'm just like constantly just retrying to get 35. Now that maybe is a little bit of self-control, and if you want to do different things, you just answer different questions. But it does feel a little templatey to start the season, that you're always are gonna, you know, if you engage with this scenario, kind of have the same, you know, 6-7 options in goals for a season. Mid-season year 5, we got the dev trade on Teague. Not X Factor, but Superstar is good enough for me to not hate that trade up. We close out year 5, good record, maybe not the best record. Would love to have seen another AFC East title, but we're the 5 seed. We go 11-6. Oh, we got our 35 touchdowns though. Who needs a Super Bowl? 35 touchdowns, 1 interception for Drake Maye. Jalen Wright was solid out of the backfield. Brandon Aiyuk, yards have never been the best, but again, double-digit touchdowns, so I'm not going to complain about that. Defensively, over 100 tackles for St. Louis. We got 12 TFLs, 11 sacks for Uche. Lindley was solid. Barmore was solid. The rookie Teague had a solid rookie pass rush season. JT Teague, defensive rookie of the year. You love to see that. And Josh Uche, linebacker of the year. Slow burn for his development, but what better time than year 5 of a 5-year rebuild to be playing your best ball. And through these 5 seasons, what we've been able to achieve, almost 18,000 yards passing for Drake Maye, 156 touchdowns, only 26 interceptions. Brandon Aiyuk, I mean, splits time between us and the 49ers, 8,400 yards, 76 touchdowns. Barmore, because he's been the only guy that's been here the whole time, almost 400 tackles, 98 TFLs, 45.5 sacks, 42 from Uche, 10 from Gonzalez, and 10 from Mapu. All right, Kansas City Chiefs. Let's do this. The Chiefs team, they got Mahomes. Hey, as long as they got Mahomes, the MVP, they're pretty good, but not optimistic. But you never know. 24-24, everything to play for the second half. And if you're going to try to, like, compensate for 4 years of underperforming, finding a way to beat the Chiefs in the sim kind of smooths that over a little bit. 27-24 The Patriots get the job done. In the divisional round, we now get the 10-7 Vegas Raiders. So looking at their defense, pretty good, top 10 defense. But offensively, I think they're going to struggle to score some points against us. There we go. Touchdown, 2-point conversion. Okay, 3 minutes to go. Come on, 1 point, 2 minutes. 4th down and miss it. Let's go, another win. 1 point. 2 more wins. That's all we need. 2 more wins, Drake Maye. That's all we need. Doesn't get any easier. If you had to say it's not Kansas City, then who do you not want to run into in the playoffs on the AFC side of the bracket? It would be the Baltimore Ravens. They went 14-3. See what they can do, man. I like Drake Maye against anybody. Seals the deal. And in year 5, through the sim, the team we've built with very little assistance is going to the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl has been set. 11-6 Patriots, 12-5 Green Bay Packers. You look at Green Bay, they are going to be the favorites in this one. Have a top 5 offense, top 3 defense in the league. Fact of the matter is, this is going to be a 90 overall Patriots team against an 87 overall Green Bay Packers squad. We got Brandon Aiyuk, who's been in some bad moments in the Super Bowl, and hopefully a change of scenery is all he needed to make to have his fortunes change for the better. But we have a very ugly Super Bowl here so far. But we tied up at 7, low score. I mean, that's kind of, our defense has been keeping these games very low scoring, very ugly, which I think is very impressive. We got we got to at least score a touchdown here on the sticks, if not a couple. Ourselves play action, Brandon Aiyuk. I don't think I've yet to, have I got a pass completion to Brandon Aiyuk yet in this rebuild? I feel like no. There we go, that 99 catching on full display. Contested catch, that was great. They bit hook, line, and sinker on the play action. No nonsense. Look, they turned the ball over again. 1 more score. I think we put this 28-7. I don't think we can blow this. Maybe. Yeah, but I don't think so. 31-14 at the depths. Maybe we could have played more. Thinking about from a rebuild presentation standpoint. But also, I'm going to be doing 10-year rebuilds for the most part. This is just because it's sponsored video and someone has to watch all this to make sure I'm not losing my mind. So it's a little bit short. We just did a 5-year. So if your complaint is maybe a little more gameplay, the plan will be 10-year rebuilds with more gameplay. But there is definitely a sense that we did this like 97% the sim, which is hard to do. Now, if I was hopping in and I would get 1 or 2 touchdowns a game, and that was kind of how we got our way to this, you know, good, great. Got to utilize Drake Maye. But there would still be that sense of like, was my team truly in the eyes of this game good enough? And at least what we saw here, maybe it would have been nice to have some earlier playoff success, years 3, year 4, but year 5, when we needed to, we were able to take that good amount of regular season success, take the fact that we are a 90 overall team, and the better team was winning in the sim. We beat the Chiefs, we beat the Ravens, we beat the Packers, and we're Super Bowl champions, baby. So let's go. First rebuild in the books. We drafted like a monster. We got our Super Bowl. What I need from you guys, if it is your first time stopping by, don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button. Try to make the channel pop off this year. Getting pretty close to 175,000 subscribers. It'd be pretty cool if we could hit that sooner than later. Hit that like button if you're hype for Madden season. Now we got that to correlate with college football season. So there's just an infinite amount of content. I got so many ideas. Not enough time in the day. Let me know in the comment section below which team we should rebuild next. We'll have more information coming soon about what our main channel franchise is going to be. If you follow me on Twitter, you might know a little bit about that. I'm going to have, at some point over the next 2 days before Madden drops, some more videos. So make sure you stay tuned to the channel. And until next time, it's your boy C4 saying thank you guys very much for checking in on the video. Support the channel. And I'll see you on the next one. Peace out. Love ya. Have a good one.